Okay, what's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to the video. Now in today's video, we're going to go through all the meta midfielders from the most expensive to the cheapest, like 50k. We're going to go through them incrementally, and these are meta midfielders that you can add simply into your game, or add them players into a game that will change your gameplay or make the biggest difference. So we're only going to focus on meta CDMs, no CDMs with 20 pace or anything like that. And before I get onto that, I just want to say this video is sponsored by my FIFA School Series. Don't forget, you can join my FIFA School Series if you want to get better. Patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. And we do have the complete Division 10 to the Elite Division series. We go to every single game from Division 10 all the way to Elite Division using just basic football. No mechanic abusing, no strafe, no agile dribbling even. Just basic football to show that anyone can do it. Link is down below in the description. Of course, hundreds of other videos on there as well. So let's go straight back into it. So when we go through all the meta players, the first start, we start with Gullit, probably one of the best players in the game. Obviously, Team of the Years are out now, but Gullit still remains to be one of the best players, simply because the 4-star, 5-star element. He's 6'3", high, medium. Now with Shadow, he ends up becoming one of the best CDMs, box to boxes in the game. People prefer the middle over the prime, even though the prime is much more, well, they're similar price, but you know the reason why it's a million coin difference, but the reason some people prefer the middle one is because that +4 agility, it does really make a difference, especially like left foot dribbling. So either one of them is fine, but don't get the base Gullit. Base Gullit is known to be a bit of a fraudulent player, simply because he's medium. He lacks the 4-star skill moves, has a 5-star weak foot. But apart from that, he's been a very much mediocre player. He's not the worst midfielder, but he definitely isn't the caliber of the mid and the prime. As we move on to Team of the Year, Kante, you don't need a shadow on him. Just put a hunter on him because he's already got the defending stats anyway. Possibly the best CDM in the game right now. I had Team of the Year Kante before, and every single year he's perfect. He can do everything. When you put a hunter on him, he can actually shoot as well. But if you're talking about the guy that sits back, I would say Team of the Year Kante, and maybe the likes of Team of the Year Kante and Gullit would be the best combination if you're looking for a defensive setup. One Gullit going forward, box to box, and Kante instead of attacking. Even his gold card, he's still one of the best CDMs that you can buy. That money you can buy for 174,000. The informs are not really worth it, to be honest, just because the massive price difference for the very small incremental stat differences. So you don't want to be spending 800k on that. But of course, if you can afford Team of the Year Kante, definitely one of the best cards in the game. Then we move over to Zidane. I would say Zidane does seem to lack what other players do have. It could be because of many things. He's got 5-star, but I think it's the medium work, because people don't really like him. He is a bit clunky-ish, but people would rather say, look, you know what, I'd rather have Gullit, someone who's 6'3", has that presence, instead of Zidane. But Zidane is also very good. If you don't mind forgoing the work rates, he's still one of the top 5 CDMs in the game. I know he's a cam, but he's realistically a centre mid. I wouldn't really play him in cam per se. If I was going to, maybe I'd put an engine on him just to get that agility and balance up. But I think the problem is with that agility. The unfortunate thing is, if you try to, even if you put a finisher on him, you can get it to +10, but he does lack the sprint speed. So it's a bit of a kind of a catch-22 is what they call it. So do you go with a pace, but then you lose agility and balance? Do you go with a pace, but then you lose? It's a bit like, which one do you choose? So it's up to you. I mean, I think he has to go either with a hunter or with a shadow. I think he's perfect at centre mid. Then we go to Vieira, probably one of the best CDMs in the game. Probably very close to Team of the Year Kante, if not maybe better in some ways, because he's much taller, 6'4". This base Vieira, although his SBC was out, he's also known to be not really the best of players. He's cheap every single year. It's because he's got medium work rates. You ideally want medium-high work rates as a CDM. And that is why the mid Vieira, I think personally, is the best one for price performance. I prefer him over the prime. You're going to be like, why? It's because he's got a bit more sprint speed. And also the prime, as you can see, has got a little bit less agility and balance. So I don't mind, because, realistically, are you going to shoot with Vieira? Not that much. And every single year, FIFA 19, FIFA 20, every year that I've had him, I've always preferred the mid one, 7 million coins, and you get a better sprint speed and a bit better agility and balance. You think it's not that important, but once you're getting pressed by a top tier level player, you are going to get killed. But of course, the prime one is a much better, well-rounded one, better for shooting, and it's got much better defending stats. But if you don't mind forgoing the agility and balance, I normally just say save the million coins, and or in this case 600k, and go with the mid. I always prefer him better. Now, Mateus, perfect. Even in centre-back cards, you can move him into a CDM in game. Known on the pro seem to be a bit more of a sub, but I think he's still a very, very good card. Does like the agility a little bit, but it's still, you can't not put him in. You know what I mean? You just can't not. But with a shadow, I think he's a top tier CDM. Centre mid, can play a perfect box to box. 4-star, 4-star, does have the 3-star skill, which is a bit of the downside, but nonetheless a good centre mid. But KDB over Mateus would be the choice. I wouldn't really have Mateus if I can get KDB. Why? Because you put KDB with the shadow and he ends up becoming the best CDM. Now I think Kante and KDB, or Kante, Team of the Year Kante of course, and Hullet will probably be the best 2 CDM centre mids combo in the game. I think simply because he's got the 5-star weak foot, finesse outside the box, 4-star skill move, 4-star skill move, so you can shoot from any angle, and also he's got the Lakokete ability from any angle as well, so you can go on to the leading foot or to the weaker foot, even though he's got a 5-star weak foot. A top tier card, I would say either a shadow or a hunter. I wouldn't play him in cam. I think he can play that role very well, but I would say with the shadow, I would much prefer him over the other centre mids, just because simply he has the agility and balance. He's not the most smoothest, liquidest player, but if you are going to play him as a cam, maybe a finisher. But I'll be honest, I'd prefer much a shadow, just to get the sprint speed up, to get his defending up. Or if I'm going to be playing him as even a second striker, I'll put a hunter on him. The agility and balance is much higher compared to Zidane, the likes of even Hullet. He does lack the physical presence at 5'11", but at 4-star, 5-star, definitely one of the best CDMs in the game. Centre mids, I can even play the cam role. You can even offload him to a second striker, left mid, right mid. Probably one of the most versatile players, like Hullet. Hullet can kind of play anywhere, and this guy can also as well. Team of the Year Kante and Hullet would be my choice. Now Bellingham is a new card that came out very much recently. 4-star, 4-star, high. I think with a shadow, you got a very, very good card. I think if you're talking about CDMs, I think he falls at one the best because he's got everything you want. High work, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I think he's got the agility and balance as well. Even though he's 6'1", he's a bit clunkier, but the agility and balance is high enough to make up for it. I think he's fantastic. You can even put a hunter on him if you want to play him as an attacking player, but I'll be honest, I think he really does stand a really, really good CDM. I'd much prefer KDB just because KDB has a 5-star weak foot, but he is the better dribbler. So it kind of depends on what you want, and he's got the passing as well, and he's got the physical stats. Where if we kind of go back, if we just go back actually twice, just KDB for a second, you can see that KDB has the much higher passing and has the better well-rounded player. So Bellingham is kind of like, if you can't afford the KDB, you go for him. Although he's quite hard to lick with the Bundesliga. Then you have Essien, a very good CDM. If you can't afford Vieira, Essien is kind of the second place to go. A bit better balanced than Vieira, but still doesn't have the best agility. I would prefer base Blanc. You know, people overlook this base Blanc card, but I still think, you know, every single year he's been one of the best CDMs in the game. 500k, I think he's an absolute steal because when you put a shadow on him, he's 6'4", but he's got a good agility and balance combo. For 500k, he can shoot as well with good finishing. He's an absolute steal, 6'4". People actually prefer this guy for Vieira. He's always held a million coin price point, par this year because of the market, but he's always held that value because he could also play very well as a striker. You know, you can play him as centre back, you can put a hunter on him if you really want to, but because the finishing stat is the most important inside the box, he actually ends up becoming quite a good player going forward. So as a box-to-box, medium-high, I really see him as a CDM. I kind of look at him like, you know what? If you need a guy and you need someone who's got better agility and balance and you can't afford the Team of the Year Kante, and Vieira is a bit out of budget and you're deciding, okay, you know what? Should I go for 88 Vieira or Blanc? I'd probably say edge to Blanc because he's got much better shooting. The passing is very, very similar. There's not too much at take, but the agility and balance is much higher on Blanc. And of course, you do lack the bit better, the defensive marks, but defensive awareness is very much the same. You only really lack the interceptions because stand tackling and slide tackling is not the end of the world because they're both quite tall, and of course you do lose aggression, but that is something, a little bit of a food for thought if you're wondering in terms of the price. Now we have that Chouameni card. I think that's how you say his name. Apologies if I got it mistaken. Please do correct me if I did. 4-star, 3-star, 6'2", high work rates. With a shadow, I think he's a perfect League 1 or League 1 centre mid. I think he's a perfect box-to-box, a million coins. He's got the agility and balance, and he's got the finishing stats. He can shoot, can do everything. If he did have the 5-star weak foot or the 4-star weak foot, it would be a bit better. He does have the 3-star weak foot, which is not a problem as a centre mid, but ideally you do want a 4. Like if you're talking about pure meta on that end, you ideally do want a 4-star. But I'll be honest, right until you can kind of push for the KDB, go ahead and get him in. I mean, apart from that, you have the likes of Fofana that does compare to him. And I'll be honest, if you had a choice between Fofana and him, I would say probably take him over Fofana. That's kind of my personal preference. Then we have Jorginho for 1 million coins. I think he's an absolute steal. Only thing he lacks is the medium work rates. Had that been high, it would have been a different situation. But with a shadow, you get one of the best centre mids in the game for such a cheap price. 1 million coins is an absolute steal for team of the year. Normally the likes of Cancelo, the likes of Hakimi, they will be priced around the 1 million coin mark this year, but Cancelo has obviously got very good stats as a CDM if you really want to do, but that's kind of for another video. So yeah, Jorginho, a top tier card. I would prefer Jorginho over Pogba unless you needed the 5-star skill moves. Then I think Pogba is a really good card. Medium high, I think with a shadow you can play the centre mid role very well, or you can put him on a hunter if you want him as attacking centre mid going forward. A bit pricey, but I think obviously being the French links and being United and being Pogba, it does make sense. Got everything that you do really want. Now I think after this price point, now you have to kind of be a bit picky. Everything before this was kind of like the complete players. Maybe they lacked only one stat like the agility. But now we're going to go to a point where they're going to lack maybe 2 things. It's either going to be pace and passing that's going to lack, or pace and dribbling. You kind of get the point. Fofana is the last of the cards, top tier card. Player of the month was very good. Is an upgrade to that. I've kind of mentioned him already. High, perfect. Lahm. Now, Lahm is very short, and you put a shadow on him. He's not the fastest. He's not 99 sprint speed level, but he does like the strength and aggression. 5'7", and he does have a 3-star weak foot and 3-star skills. So, a good CDM, but I would say he's very short. I mean, I think of him like a Kante. And I think if you compare Kante and Lahm, you would see obviously that Lahm comes out on top. But the high work rates could be better for a box-to-box. So, if you've got the money, I would say go with Lahm. You know, I think he's got very good. The only thing that, you know, compared to Kante that he does lack is the stand tackling. The rest, Lahm really very much excels. So I'll be honest, if you've got the money, he does like the aggression and strength. The aggression I think is somewhat important, which makes Kante very good. That's the only really thing that I would say between them. But I would say Kante or Lahm. Lahm is a very good card. If you can't afford the most expensive Kantes, go ahead and get that Lahm card if you're looking for an icon to get the links as well. I wish he had better aggression, but you kind of have to put a shadow on him because he does lack the sprint speed. Both him and Kante together lack that sprint speed. Modric, not a card that I really prefer. I know a lot of people love him. It's the medium work rates again, but he's still a top tier card. You put a shadow on him, perfect box to box if you're looking for a La Liga card, should I say. Nothing wrong with him. Wish he had a bit better aggression, but I think with a shadow, he's still a very good card. Does lack the finishing, to be honest, but everything else is perfect. I think he's perfect as a CDM or a centre mid with a shadow. I really wouldn't go towards a hunter because you barely improve those stats unless you're very much trying to go for the attacking player in the middle. But I'll say go with a shadow, get the defense awareness up, which is very important with the medium work rates. Ronald Sanchez. Probably one of the few cards I think in this price range where he has everything. We mentioned Blanc a bit earlier on. We're not essentially with a shadow. I think he's a fantastic card. I'm going to be getting him next. High, top tier GL balance, can turn on a whim. Very good shot power and long shots for outside the box. Lad does like the finishing. You could put a hunter on that and actually improve that. But I think as a centre mid, someone alongside like the Kante, I think he's a fantastic box-to-box centre mid. He's the kind of the card that I want very much next. Then we go to Balak. Now, Balak, all of his cards are good, par the base Balak, which is horrendous. I think this is the best Balak, I think, for price. You know, also, if you look at the difference, you can see this one's got much better defending compared to the prime. The mid, should I say, is much cheaper, but obviously the prime's got much better defending. What I would say is for price performance, he's on the same level as Lahm, but he hasn't got the agility balance. So if you're looking for a box-to-box for 700k, you might as well stretch for like the Jorginho instead of Balak. That's the problem with Balak. He's high, he's got tall, he's got medium-high work rates, but at that point, you might as well go with Blanc. Think of him like, let's say you want Blanc, but you want someone that's purely very much more attacking, better shooting. I would say go with Balak. But the problem with Balak, he does lack the GL balance. And that's the problem at this price range. You know, you have to pick and choose certain things that you want depending on what you want. For pure CDM, I would go with Blanc, even though he does lack the defending stats. But the reason why is because Blanc actually has got very similar stats, but the defense awareness is very important. Stand tackling is only really important if you're actually next to the ball and you can tackle the ball. And heading accuracy, is it that important? Not so much. I'd rather much prefer Blanc, who's much faster, They've got the same work rates, but he's a bit taller with a bit better stretch. So that's who I would prefer. It's only if you really want the much better passing and a much better shooting. But don't forget, Balak is going to be clunky on the ball. So that is something just to bear in mind with that agility and balance. And you can't put engine on him because I think he's just a bit too slow for this stage of the cycle. Bruno Fernandes, top tier card. Shadow, one of the few cards that has everything. Doesn't have the 4-star weak foot. He did last year, doesn't have it unfortunately anymore this year. But I think with a Shadow for a Premier League card, 500k, I think he's very, very good. While you're saving up for the Jorginho, a midway point, I think Bruno Fernandes does make a really good card. And I think this one over the rest, he's got the much better agility and balance. I'll definitely go with this one, the Team of the Year nominee. He might be one of the few exceptions who kind of has everything, just lacks, maybe just a bit more pace would have been perfect, but I still think he has everything you want. Petit, not a card that I like in particular this year, mainly because the agility and balance. With a Shadow, he's also one good option. I will still go with Blanc. It is that 3-star. It's not something that's ideal. Probably one of the best CDMs in the game that's very much underlooked. Don't go with this card. Go with this one because he's got much better defending. You're better off just getting... So people always say, you know what? Why not just go with this card and put a Shadow on him? Yeah, well, it makes sense, right? You can do like that and get better passing. But the reason why I go with this one and I put a Shadow on him is because you get much higher defensive awareness. I'd rather forego the bit better passing, but defending is the most important thing always. But I think he's a top tier CDM, probably one of the best CDMs in the game. His gold card was amazing. In fact, I used his gold card in my cheap team from the Division 10 to Elite Division Series. His gold card alone is still very, very good, but he did lack the agility and balance. That's something that this card does have. He does have the agility and balance, but unfortunately, when you do have the agility and balance, you don't have it in the 90s. But I think as a guy with an 80 agility, I think you can kind of get away with it at 6 foot. Perfect for CDM. Lorente, Gold Lorente, probably the best gold card centre mid in the game. I mean that. I think this Lorente is worth the money if you have it. The reason why is Gold Lorente is one of those cards I've had in my team. And I think if you're looking at this entire tier, this is the best gold card centre mid in the game. I am not joking. I think it's because he's got such good pace. You put a Shadow on, more Hunter, it's different class. Different class. If you can't afford a top tier card, just sub this guy on. If you have the money, go for this one because the +2 agility and +7 balance really does make a difference. So it is worth it. Definitely one of the best. I don't think there's a better gold card than him as a centre mid, box to box in the game, because you can shoot, defend, and you can do a bit of everything. That's something that I would say. Now, the De Jong card, 3-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, high medium. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he medium high before? His work rate's got switched around, but I think with his Shadow, he's a very, very good box to box. He was very good before initially when the game came out, but nowadays he's just not as good as anymore because there's such better variety. You know, you've got the likes of Lorente, you got the Valverdes. He's got the really good agility, so he's still going to be very good on the ball. I wish he was medium high as opposed to high medium because he does lack that shooting, which is not really ideal. But I think as a box to box, he does a very good job, and even with a Shadow on step up while attacking, he does a very good job with that as well. And of course, he gets a link to Dembele. In Nkunku, we go down to him. You know what? He's with a Shadow. He's a very good card. 3-star weak foot, not ideal. Medium work rates. But I think as a box to box, if you have him, he does a good job. He wouldn't be my choice, but he's also a very good card. I'd much prefer Goretzka. If you're talking about a German player that you need a Bundesliga, 6'2", he's no longer. Well, he wasn't. I think high was a FIFA 19, right? I think he is a high medium. He's high medium now, 6'2". Probably one of the best centre mids in the game as well. Much better agility and balance, but of course he's much pricey at 400k. But I think if you've got a Bundesliga team, you need a player. Goretzka every single year has been one of the best cards that you can get for price performance wise, especially that gold card as well. If you're looking for someone that's cheap. Barella is a very good card as well with a Shadow. Has everything you want. Does like the finishing a little bit. 3-star is not really ideal, but he's got high agility and top tier agility balance, high work rates. I think as a box to box, he's perfect. Just lacks that shooting a little bit. You can see kind of the recurring pattern here. Guendouzi might be one of the best without the lacking. Is the 3-star skill moves, not ideal, but he's high work rates. Probably one of the best centre mids in Ligue 1, alongside Fofana, Ronald Sanchez, Chouameni, etc. I think if you haven't done our SBC and you missed out on him, you need a CDM to play that's quite attacking. He's got a good choice. You can also put a Hunter on him to make him even more attacking to get that finishing and that shot power up. Does still like the long shots. Agility balance not the best, but he can still turn at least. And he's one of the best cards there. Base Seedorf, I think for his price, I think he's very, very good at 339. With his shadow, I think he's very, very good. He's got high work rates. I don't like the problem is with the mid. People always say the mid, yeah, but the reason why is because this has got high and medium. This base one actually has very good stats because he's got a bit of everything. You see the rest of them, they've got much less defending ability. You see that? Got minus 13 on stand tackling. So the base Seedorf is one of the best Seedorfs as a centre mid. With his shadow, 5'9", but he's got the high work, which is very, very important, especially for a balanced centre mid. Can do a bit of everything. So you really need the icon to put everything together. I think base Seedorf is one card to go for. Then we go with Fred, still one of the best cards. His gold card is very, very good when the game came out. This card even better. I think it's a link to Ronaldo. Very, very good jumping, stamina and aggression. 99 all around there nearly. Especially in defending. He's got the sprint speed. Wish it was 99. But he's got a very good GL balance. 4-star, 4-star. My personal choice for centre mid being very, very short. High. 4-star, 4-star. Good sprint speed and top tier GL balance. I would say perfect. 99 aggression. He's seriously one of the best centre mids that you can get in the Premier League. Paqueta, the SPC's gone with a shadow, but I think it's a fantastic card. And I think that is pretty much it. We've got a few other cards, honorable mentions. You know, Coutinho here. I think he's more of an attacking player, of course. I'm not going to put him in the centre mid. The midfielders I'm going to consider CDM centre mids, but I think with a Hunter, he's very, very good. Elmas, the new card, looks very, very good with the medium high. He's got 5-star skill moves, which looks very, very interesting. Medium high, you put a shadow on him, and he can get the job very, very done. So if you're looking for someone else, plays for Macedonia as well. Barella, I think, is a very, very good card. So would Kessie, which you're going to see in a second. But I think if you're looking for someone more on the defensive end, I think he's a very good card. Don't forget on Footbin, you can always type in new. People always wonder, you can always type in new players. There's a lot of new players here, you know, people that have been asking me about them. There's so many new players. Tomiyasu is a very good fullback and centre back with a shadow because he's got the 5-star weak foot and the medium high work rate. I think he's a very, very good card. If you're looking for a Tierney and a Tomiyasu linked together, I think they both do very well, and he's got really, really good aggression as well. I think he's a very, very good card. This Ferran Torres, people have been saying that he's a very, very good attacker. I wish he had a 5-star weak foot, but we'll go on to another video. Milinkovic-Savic, again, a shadow with the CDM, a very, very good card. Does like the sprint speed. You ideally want it a bit more, but you can't be too fussy. He's got 5-star weak foot though, 6'3", high, medium. High would have been perfect, but I still think he's one of the best attackers. I'd probably say go ahead and put a shadow on him. I think he's already got a 5-star weak foot. You really want to use him as someone going forward. I'll say put a Hunter on him. If he had a bit better sprint speed, yes. Otherwise, if not, I think he's still a very, very good card. High, medium, 6'3". The dual team balance makes up for it, even though he's very, very tall. Kessia speaks for himself. Shadow, very, very good CDM. 4-star, 4-star, 3-star. High work rate is very, very good. Our SBC is gone. Can either play as a cam or a striker, or you put a shadow on him and he can play CDM. But of course, he's not available now on SBC. Go ahead and get Guendouzi. Same thing with So. I didn't really want to put these in, but I thought, you know what, why not just talk about them briefly. Intebo as well, one of the best CDMs in the game. I done him on SPC. I do not regret it. Fantastic. And the perfect thing is he gives a link to Onyeka. Tonali, same thing. Kind of a bit outdated now, but with the shadow, he's still very, very good. Lacks the GL balance and the finishing. Claude Maurice, I think he's very, very good. Play left back, right back, left mid, right mid. Can play anywhere with a Hunter or a shadow. He can literally play anywhere on the pitch. I would say definitely go with this version, defensive version, over the fire version, because you get the much better defensive awareness, which I think is very important. But he's got medium work rates. Onyeka is the final guy. One of the best CDMs in the game, if not the best CDM for his price. I use them in my, if you subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/NealGuides, you say I use them in my team. Fantastic. I still in my team right now, one of the best CDMs. Perfect. High. It's like the Kante with a bit better sprint speed. And of course, he's got the GL balance, something that you always want. And of course, he's Nigerian, so he gives that perfect green link to Entebo. I think this is his name. I was about to say Etebo. No, sorry. Etebo. I keep saying Entebo. I'm thinking about Entebbe, like the Entebbe airport in Uganda. But yes, sorry, it's Entebo. But anyway, guys, that is, of course, a top tier midfielders in FIFA 22. There's probably one or two that I missed. that maybe I didn't have a choice. But if you do feel like I missed any of them out, do let me know down below. I kind of went through and I picked up the ones that I chose, but there might be a chance that I missed one or two there. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy. And of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys. Don't forget my Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. You can sign up and get 1 month for absolute. So let's say you don't get bet after 1 month, I'll refund your money. It's a NealGuides guarantee. Patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.